What do we have to do?
Motion
Yes.
to accept
To
the
amend it?
minutes from
As
the-
amended, as amended.
As amended.
Okay.
From which meeting, the December 3rd? No, December.
November
November
19th.
19th.
November
No.
19th.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, moving on right along to the wastewater treatment plant upgrade, and speaking of the electric bills, I gave Alex, I created an Excel, what do you call it?
Spreadsheet.
Yeah,
We should do warrants and bills.
we do want to,
No, we've got
Oh,
two,
we
we
got
got
one.
two,
Okay,
we got two
sorry.
more here that,
yeah.
got a question on. So this one's from Adams Trucking for
Yeah.
the work on the park.
Uh-huh. That one will be submitted, that will be submitted. Yeah, we have to sign it first.
Okay, so it says 40,000, it says total cost 65,000. What does that mean?
It's not done yet. Well, it's obviously more than that.
I mean, I assume this is like work to date, but it doesn't,
Is that the only paper that came out?
that's it.
Is it a statement? Or is this
An invoice?
was this a breakdown? Does this have to do with the concrete wall that was gonna be stone veneered?
Is that part of it that you have there?
Nope. This is something separate.
Or they're billing for $40,000 into a $65,000 job?
Or they're billing
The
just for
job
the
is much more than
excavation and not for
65.
the rest of the installation.
He's got a contract for, what,
No, no.
400,000 or
Yeah, I
something,
know,
right?
right, yeah. Yeah, so it looks as though something of that is $65,000 worth of work and he's billing for $40,000. I guess is what I'm reading. Do you need more clarification from?
No, I was
somebody
just, so what is your interpretation of this?
Well, he's saying he's billing for what they're doing over there right now,
Okay.
doing the stonework, right? Installation of rock wall and amphitheater and retaining wall along the accessible walkway. And that's what they're working on.
Okay.
Saying that that's a $65,000 job and they're
That portion of the job is that?
Yeah, I guess.
What they've done so far is 40,000 and they're billing for that. They're not billing for something they haven't done.
It would be nice to get a better clarification on what,
Yeah, I'm not looking to bury the guy in paperwork.
well, right, but the stones were donated. The trucking, he donated.
Yeah, but
But-
it's the Wonderly work that.
Right, oh, yeah.
But the stone and the trucking would cover the difference, wouldn't they? It's 20 for the stone. I mean, if
Not
the
if,
original...
not if he's saying it's 65,000, it's just the stone isn't in that cost and the trucking's not in that cost.
Okay,
But you wanna get some more clarification?
I don't have a problem signing this. I just was curious if somebody knew more about
I do
the
not.
contract.
What's that? That goes with,
That's a summary that Alex emailed.
well, we did email one for the electricity?
Nope.
What's that for?
That's our
Oh,
account
yeah,
overview at the,
oh, okay, the financial
as of the end of August.
Okay.
So then the next one here is from the town of Rockingham, and it's asking us to send a payment directly to Bazin Brothers related to the paving work and the sewer manhole adjustments. So there was 18 sewer manhole adjustments, and the total cost is $9,450. So Rob had made us aware that, you know, that was going to be coming. I don't know if we knew the exact amount, but I guess my
We paid the
question-
highlighted.
$9,450.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. So my question is, where should that money come from?
Good question.
We should give Alex some direction and.
Well, it's
I mean,
gonna have to come out of the general, and it has to do with the
Is that a
wastewater treatment.
Is that a wastewater treatment expense?
Maybe.
yeah.
Part of the,
Yeah, it's part of the line, the
Yeah.
infrastructure, so it's definitely attached to that.
okay, but not, it's not part of the wastewater upgrade.
No,
Nope,
Okay, so,
could be.
okay. So we've got, I think we've got money in just the regular sewer account.
how much do we have in maintenance?
Well, again, this is this is as of the end of August, so I'm not sure
We haven't done much.
I'm not sure how much, but at that time, we had 200,000 in the sewer checking account, and then about another 200,000 in capital reserve.
We did have that one, what was that piece of equipment we had replaced?
So you're just gonna take it out of the checking? Or are you gonna take it out of the reserve?
Yeah, I mean,
Might have to be both.
Or just take it out of the reserve, because the checking is, we're using, right?
for operating expenses. Yeah, and then there's, on his summary, there's two sewer fund money market accounts.
Right.
One says sewer fund MM-capital, the other one says sewer fund MM. The one has 188,000, the other one has 10,000.
Mhm.
Do you know why there's two?
Except maybe they started one and I don't think it's designated.
Two of them.
Unless it's the capital one is the one we get put aside every year and the other one was from a long time ago.
Okay. So we want this to come out of the,
Capital?
Capital.
all right, so I'll make a note to that effect, and then when you sign it, that's, okay.
So he is working on Alex is working on the electric bills. I made up a spreadsheet so he could just go in with the amounts. Okay, ready to move on?
Are we on wastewater upgrade?
We are now, yes.
Okay.
This is the loan document that we're supposed to sign tonight. With all that back and forth, I assume we can do this, that, Andrew received the, this is not Parks, I'm sorry.
No, I don't,
She received the, MRB, it's from Dexter, that's what she was looking for. Okay, so this is a two-part process, and we sign this tonight. This is about closing out the loan. And there are multiple pages. Actually, I'm the only one that signed
So
it.
if I can elaborate a little bit, the closing out the loan means that we've spent the loan amount that USDA gave us, or agreed to give us, and we've been paying for all those expenses through our line of credit. So since we've hit the full loan amount, now we can close the loan with USDA. They'll give us that loan amount to pay back the line of credit, and then we start drawing on grant funds from this point forward.
So there's several pages for the clerk to sign, so maybe it'd be easier if you came up here. Rather than
Everything
passing them back and forth.
going well?
I think so. Seems like,
No huge
Oh, we do
cost
sign it,
overruns
okay.
or?
no, it's been going remarkably smooth. And the MPBR form that Louise referred to is a
Oh, we get
monthly
another
summary
one.
that's been getting prepared by Tata and Howard and submitted
one you're
to
signing.
USDA summarizing the monthly expenses for the project. We have some expenses that occurred, prior to Tata and Howard doing the construction management, going back almost
That
a
goes
long
here.
time. So there's been some effort that Alex has made to work with Tata and Howard and USDA to try to get those summarized and submitted. And I think there's a little bit more work to do on that. But that doesn't have to be done before we close on this loan. We can submit those after the fact. So we're all signing this?
Yeah. You sign that one too, as amended board.
Yeah, I met with Alex yesterday to go over, and I think we're, to date, we've spent 2.37 million and change.
What was the latest as far as startup?
Okay, that one's finished except for treasurer, right?
When he was here last, I think he said
I'll
it was
figure it
like
out later.
mid-February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first page.
No, there was another one. I have another copy, so I'll just look at that. This one, I don't think we have to do anything. Oh, yeah. Signature of consent. Village treasurer, okay. Board of trustees. I guess you signed twice if you're both, huh? Village clerk.
Well, we kind of made it clear that there wasn't going to be any.
I think there was plenty in there.
There's another one.
I can imagine that by now.
It ain't over yet.
Should have found the surprises by now.
There's
I
another
would
one.
think so.
Never too late for a surprise.
No, no. Actually, the roof line nicely shields the tanks. That worked
Yes,
out
it
pretty
does.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I don't know how much of that was by design, but it seems to have worked out quite nicely. It looks like you're looking at a barn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, because there's two different loans. Two different, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask that, so
Yeah, there's two because we had two, remember two.
right,
The first one and then the second one.
yep, so we've got
And here's another one.
one for 2,164,000 and then the second one for
This one's finished.
150,000.
For Alex.
Well, that's when we came in. 200.
Yeah, that was it. Close there. We spent. So
That's it, right?
so once this is closed out and the line of credit is closed, then the cash flow becomes a little bit tighter because we either need to pay stuff out of our reserve accounts and then get reimbursed through grant funding, or we receive the invoice, submit the invoice to USDA, they turn around a check, and then we pay it. So the timing becomes a little bit more critical to keep that flowing.
Is that the way we're going?
That's the way it's supposed to go, yeah.
Why does this say for building and it's for, oh, I see, it's the gas, the, oil. Heating oil. All right.
That's a big milestone right there.
What's this? Is
A
that
long
your
time
copy?
coming.
That you, what's that?
I made a copy of this.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's a big milestone.
Yep. So
All right, that's Alex.
we're into 1.5 million of grant funding now.
So, park project. Nothing to report, right? Just moving along?
Just moving along. I'm still tracing down matches on the grants
Oh. Oh, you mean for, yeah,
to make sure we get
Right.
everything covered, but
okay.
I haven't finished that yet.
How far off, if at all, do you think we might be?
Yeah, I can't say yet.
No way to know.
No,
It should be pretty
we
close
should be pretty close,
with
yeah.
Julie's donation of her time.
Yeah.
Fire station building? That's our next.
Seems like we need to,
Gotta turn up the heat on that one.
yep.
The heat has been turned up.
Yeah. I will round up the
Usual suspect.
usual suspects, so to speak. And, the last thing we were at was they were kind of reconfiguring the design that we already had in place, which was a little odd, but given that the grandiose plan we had there's cost was quite high, we were trying to make some adjustments. Peter Golick had talked to one of the companies that does metal buildings and got some pricing and was hoping we would just hire that company to do it. And that's where things kind of stopped. So I don't know if there's a direction from the trustees that do you want us to take? Are we looking to, I mean, we don't have any funding. We don't know where that funding is coming from. at
That's
this
our
point.
next big step. We should really.
If it's going to be a USDA, do we have to, are we bound to put it out to bid? That would be a question. Because the pricing that he received from this company was a real good price. And I think he was trying to get a couple of prices from he was running down all the prices. He was pricing out the heating and the electrical, just asking local contractors that he knows, a couple in each field, to kind of bid it out so we could put the numbers together. It was looking good. And then the kind of the reconfiguration of the fire station itself and where it was going to sit and the size of it, and it's like, it's a little frustrating to have a plan and then try and redo the plan.
Right.
But it did need to be changed a little bit.
So would you be able to give it some thought and maybe, come to the next meeting with
Some sort
just
of
a report
recommendation.
and a proposal, if it's to that point?
Sure.
How do
I
we,
will-
how do we get it out, how do we get the public to be aware that we're not just sitting here, we're doing something about it? That seems to be the feeling, that we're not,
Yeah, it's
because they don't
hard not
see
to.
anything or hear
Right,
anything.
and it's a
Yeah.
whole different thing where we have to kind of start it early spring.
Yeah.
Regardless, so that it's
Yeah.
done before the next winter with this.
Yeah.
And the whole logistics of where the trucks and the equipment and a trailer
Right.
for an office is going to be,
Yeah.
is a little daunting in a way. So, yeah, I will get these back together and see if I can come with
Do you
it.
need some new people on the committee, or?
I don't think at this point we do.
Okay.
I need to get Art and Peter and myself, and just say, okay, what's the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Roughly, what are we
Mhm.
talking about?
I like the idea though of maybe, getting somebody involved that could help spread the word to, just to keep
Positive
some,
word.
some public,
Mhm.
PR going. Public awareness, maybe
Yeah.
is the better word.
What's our, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. Hook. What's our hook? As far as getting the public in, like, what are we telling them?
Right.
That we're working on it, but,
Yeah,
But
well,
we have
it's
several
fallen
ideas.
silent for
Yeah.
quite some time now, because we got to
Yeah.
that point and then
yeah.
these other two projects took off, and it's, I hate to go in one, I don't want to go in one direction and find out that it was the wrong direction to
Right,
go in.
right, right.
Especially if we have to put it out to bid.
Mhm.
This company that I think he talked with said that they wouldn't bid on it.
It would just be whatever they said it was.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it was good,
That's
and they
basically a
they
bid.
were doing design work, well,
Yeah.
right. But it wasn't going to be
Competitive.
like we did on
No,
the sewer plant, it's
Yeah.
not going, it wouldn't, so.
no, that was too
I
competitive.
guess knowing whether we have to put it out to bid
Yeah.
would be,
So, do you think, is USDA money, can it be used for this? I thought there was something about, did I ask John?
oh, but you can get the
Michael.
loan, sure.
Oh, the
just,
loan,
you know,
okay.
You can
No
get a
grant,
loan,
though.
but no one has found any grants, and if someone wants to start working on that again, that would be
I think maybe if we contact, like,
fabulous.
Brattleboro, they could tell us what they did, and they made that West Brattleboro station, and they redid their station in Brattleboro.
Right.
And then Dummerston, but I don't know if they did it all themselves.
Dummerston?
Dummerston
Yeah,
Center,
that was,
that's
yeah.
pretty much there if they did it.
I think so.
But ask other people how they did it, how they got the, where they got the money.
Yeah.
There must be some grants out there, even just for equipment.
Well, equipment is one thing, we don't need we have the equipment.
No, I mean as
But-
far as the stuff inside, like
Right, yeah.
the
there is-
lights and all that stuff. Okay, it's all those things that add up too,
Right, right. But the big number is the
building itself.
And have we settled on doing it here?
Yes, it's still here. Still here, hasn't been, a better site hasn't been found.
Are there any historical preservation kind of guidelines with respect to the look of the building? And it's contextual.
Well, that part, probably not. Maybe
I don't know the answer to that question.
this part has been altered so much that I don't think it's,
And that's been another driver,
yeah.
another, I guess call it a friction point or a point of contention with talking about these different style buildings. These metal buildings. There's metal siding and there's metal roofing.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It's like Butler buildings, what they call Butler buildings.
yeah. Yeah. So
That's not exactly
personally, I was
contextual.
trying to not do something that looked like a commercial building, but I think we have to compromise someplace if we're going to keep the cost down and get this done. It's so many years overdue.
Do we have a comparison of the cost between the,
Yeah, we have a price tag of the original or the latest design that had wood clapboard siding and architectural shingles and, a decent looking building. But it had a lot of bells and whistles. The newer design, the metal building, was tamed down a little bit. I think we took the meeting room out of it. We had on one side to try to move things down and reconfigure things. We took that out of there.
but suppose you did that with a contextual style building and just adjusted your plan.
Yeah, it's,
They don't make
It's-
fire
it's-
stations the way they used to. The trucks
well,
are
yeah,
bigger. you know?
with these, Butler buildings, or there's another one that's out there. Can't recall it now. It's what they do, and they're cost effective. And the other one was a stick built, with a mezzanine for drying the hoses and all of that. And this meeting room with a kitchen in it. Maybe we don't need that.
Right,
So,
so, but if you take the meeting room out, does that reduce the cost of the stick building significantly enough to help put that on the stick, keep that on the table?
I don't know. But we,
I mean, we are an historic village.
right, now, one thing I was going to do, Peter went to their headquarters, wherever, I think it's in Castleton, and he said, you drive up to their building and it has this metal clapboard exterior, and he said, it looks like clapboards.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
If it
it
looks-
would be good I would like to put my eyes on it so I could get behind it. I mean, I'm all for this fire station, it needs to happen, and we're just
I like the
moving
idea
things
of a fire
around.
station being fireproof too.
Yeah.
And it's not all about the cost. I mean, it's important that we've got a fire station that's
Meets our needs.
is appropriate for
Right.
the volunteers that are giving their time to
Right.
Yes.
to protect the community. So
Right.
I think it's important that they have a place that's
Oh, yeah, that's
appropriate.
decent, and it has all the
Yeah.
equipment that they need in it.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to strip it down to just have a couple garage doors that you can pull some fire trucks.
Right,
into.
no, I know
Certainly.
you're not.
But, so that's what we kind of dealt with, and stalled out, but I will,
So it's definitely in the thinking
Oh,
to
yeah.
try to keep it contextual to the extent possible.
well, it depends on who you talk to. For me, yes.
Oh, so there's
Cost-wise.
a voice, the point is that there's a voice that somebody's got their eye on that ball. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. I will,
And so those metal buildings can look like clapboard, right?
well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying, and
yeah.
I need to go, I guess, up there and go up to the
Where's
building.
up there, where?
Castleton.
Castleton.
Oh, yeah, you can look at it online.
Well, online is one thing, but
Not the same.
not until you
No,
go up
no.
to a building and stand in
But
front
if
of
you,
it. and
if you
look
don't
at it.
happen to go up there, you can look on it at
Yeah,
Google
just-
Street View, I saw it. And it looked pretty good,
Right, and that's what he said.
yeah.
And so, if we're going with a different design and a different construction and maybe
Mm-hmm.
different siding, and it's gonna, lower the price
Yeah.
$100,000 or $200,000, then
Mhm.
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
don't wanna stick something in the village that doesn't look like it should be here,
Mhm.
but we
Well,
need-
if it
we-
has, metal can be beautiful. I mean, a
Mhm.
metal building can be very, very nice. It could also be the thing in Cambridgeport, which is not so nice. So, as long as you're thinking about it,
Oh, yeah.
it's just throwing.
Okay. Anything else on that? Okay, other business? I have one thing. I received a notice of a bankruptcy. One of our debtors is filing for Chapter 7. Marilyn Morgan, who owes money to our sewer and, I believe, property tax accounts. I don't know what we do about this, or we don't have to do anything, I guess.
Means we're not gonna get paid.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
write,
Yeah.
you write
Well,
off
is
the
it now,
taxes.
do we go back to, I don't know where we were with that, because Connie was pushing up as far as putting liens on properties. Have we even done that once? But we had talked about the big dollar ones that weren't responding
I
to
think she
anything.
did that. I don't know.
Is there any way we can follow up with that?
Yeah.
Because that certainly needs an
Yeah.
attachment.
I would think that this would be cause for putting a lien on if it hadn't been done
If there's
already.
not one on there now, it needs
Yeah.
to be on this week.
Absolutely.
Right, because then I'll go through the bankruptcy court. and
Right.
everything, yeah.
Right. and then
We may have to file with bankruptcy court. I don't know.
Yeah, is
But
there
it needs
any
to get attached to
notification
the-
in there that we have
To
to
the
file
property, yeah.
something?
I don't see anything. Tell me.
Do we contact our attorney for guidance on it, or?
Just a notice.
We don't want to spend more on an attorney than she owes us. don't know what she owes us.
Oh, let's see, I can tell you from last year.
Proof of claim deadline, 12/15.
What does that mean?
Exactly. Look at- Go back to
Think
the
about this.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, that we need some guidance quickly. So, for individuals or joint debitors, we're a debitor, aren't we?
We're a creditor.
Creditor.
So there's the,
Just write the
filing
bank.
date,
You just contact the
12/15.
bankruptcy court and say, how do we file it?
She, delinquent sewer
Right.
fees, she has no delinquent taxes, but delinquent sewer fees are $5,202.98.
That's enough to chase.
well, at least get a lien on the
Partial
property. I don't know
payment.
how that's affected by bankruptcy.
So, good chunk. So contact them and do what?
Just to see if there's any way to appeal for settlement.
Okay.
Well, there's a meeting of creditors scheduled for December 21
Okay.
in
That's
Rutland.
step
Really?
number one.
In Rutland?
There's a,
But
No,
I
just in
think-
time for Christmas, huh?
Don't you
Should
need to
it-
do something to officially become a creditor?
Well, we must
Have to
be,
file with the court.
You probably have to
filed by
file
the
it. That's gonna take-
filed by the deadline to object to discharge or to challenge whether certain debts are dischargeable. Filing deadline 2/19.
219.
February 19th, 2019.
Oh.
Well, what should we do? You want to start with a phone call, Louise?
I guess I will.
Bankruptcy trustee Ray.
Ray, who's Raymond?
Ray Obachowski.
Ray Obachowski.
Raymond
Who's Raymond Obachowski? Obachowski.
Bethel, Vermont.
Oberhus.
Oh, yeah. Must be a cousin or something.
Well, there's that phone number. There's a bankruptcy clerk's office listed. That might be. Yeah.
Where's that? Where is it? Does it have a phone number?
It is in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay.
Has a phone number right here.
Okay.
That's probably a good place to start.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't seen one of those before.
No. Any other business? Yeah?
This is this is something new and different. I'm speaking on behalf of Main Street Arts as the treasurer. We did not receive a tax bill for our sewer bill this year. I don't have the amounts and whatnot. And we've received a Dunning bill saying you haven't paid it, and this is how much you owe now with fees. And Heather Joffrey, who is our managing director, has requested of the tax clerk or tax
Treasurer.
officer a copy of the original bill, because there's no record of our having received it.
Really?
And we cannot provide one. The villages have been unable to provide it. And I'd like to request that this organization consider waiving the fee. We did not get a bill, any kind of delinquency fee. I just don't think it's fair for the organization.
You're talking about
to pay.
waiving the sewer fee?
No, the
No,
delinquency.
Waiving the delinquency fee?
Yeah, we're happy to pay the tax, but not it. And then there's no way, and we haven't even seen it broken out. I mean, I'd like to see what.
That's
because
this year's bill?
It went out in
In
July?
they go in July or something like that.
Was
yeah.
Heather there in July? It might have gotten lost in between the two.
Transition.
I don't know, but they have not been able to provide us a copy of the bill.
Really?
No.
Even
They
of the
who?
amount?
Connie.
Who did they contact?
Connie. The amount's in the thousands of dollars.
Have you received the bill now?
We received a bill which includes a fee,
Okay.
which is not delineated. It's just a big lump.
Right.
So I'd like to know what is the fee and what is the delinquency fee.
Oh,
And I would
okay.
like the
Okay.
delinquency fee. I
Okay.
would plead to have that
Do
forgiven.
you have that on your, you could tell her the fee for the delinquency?
We paid the whole thing. We just, because we
Oh, you've
were
already
told that we were gonna be fined in addition to that if we didn't pay by a certain date. I mean, we were being strong-armed by our treasurer, whatever she is.
Good for her.
Our tax collector.
Good to see it works. That's
Main Street Arts treasurer uses the same tactics.
Well, it may have come and just gotten lost in the,
There's no record,
Sure.
it would not have gotten lost. These things are pretty meticulously handled in the
Chantal
office.
would know, right?
We have one from the previous year. There's no record of having received the bill.
Well,
Connect here.
And the town has been unable to provide a copy of the original bill.
I got my bill.
I got a couple.
yeah, I got one.
I got one.
Well, it may take me a minute to find this.
And it may be simply for the dish portion. I don't know.
The what?
The dish.
Oh,
It may just be for that. I don't have the particulars, but I'm just conceptually putting forth this, and if you would like more details, we'll get them for you.
So you should have received two bills.
That's right.
One for the Main Street Arts building and one for the former Dish on Main
Dish,
building. So which here? The Dish on Main was $1,110, and the Main Street Arts building was $1,518.
518.
So
And I think it might just be the dish portion. I'll check on that. And that's the actual sewer bill.
yeah.
that's the actual
Okay.
sewer bill.
Because the amount, I think, was considerably more.
I wonder
than
if
that.
it went to the wrong address or something, or
I wondered if it went
to
to
the
the prior
Mackers?
owners, but last year's bill did not.
They would have told you.
And
Oh, last year's
got-
bill didn't?
yeah, last
It's
year's
got
bill
Main
was-
Street Arts PO Box 100
Yeah,
Yeah,
listed here.
yeah. Last year's bill was received and paid on a timely basis.
Make sure it's the same.
So, do you know how much was paid?
I don't have the actual amount. I did see it. I didn't write it down. Sorry. I've been a little bit overtaxed recently.
well, we can ask
Not to make a
Alex.
pun.
See it? Oh wait, there's the Main Street Arts.
What I can do is I can check, because we just sent the check out. I can check to see how much the check
The
was,
difference.
and that'll tell me the difference, the fee.
Mm-hmm.
And
What do you call it?
And then send a letter.
When you're-
pardon?
And then send a letter.
Yeah.
The part that's not the fee, it's a
Penalty.
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 Late fee.
Alright, never mind. It's not gonna help. That's not what I was looking for. Yep, that's my record.
Did they get one but not the other?
Yes, we got the Main Street Arts one.
Oh,
I
so
believe that's correct.
It's only the dish one.
Yeah, I think it's only the dish one.
So the dish one had fees on it.
Yes.
Oh.
In fact, that's the only bill we ever saw, was the one that just came recently.
Okay,
with
but
fee.
the Main Street Art Building bill, you did receive that on time, and that
That
was
is my
paid on
understanding,
time?
that was paid in.
Okay, so it's the Dish on Main building that's
Yep.
the question.
Okay,
So do you need a motion?
you can make one.
So I'll make a motion that the Main Street Arts for the Dish on Main building, because of the confusion about whether or not they actually were sent out a bill, that if upon receipt of their original sewer amount of $1,110, that we waive the late fee.
Second.
Any further discussion? That's fine. Abigail, is that what you understand?
I'm
Is that
sorry.
correct?
That's what you understand?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Thank
all in
you.
favor, say aye.
All right.
Alright.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'll have to find out
Thank you.
what happened.
Appreciate that.
Is there any other business? Yeah?
Any other business?
I would like to go back to the speed cart installation and just recap to make sure that I understand it correctly, that we need to call Mike Hines and tell him that we're digging.
Well, yeah, just clarify with him, ask him if they could install the poles.
And they say no, and then find somebody who can, put a stake in the ground where we plan to put them, call DigSafe for that, and then find somebody who can dig, and have that person dig.
town won't do it.
And then, if the town won't do it. And then, after it's dug, is there a window of opportunity that's going to close?
It's gonna have to be done together. Has to be dug, pole put in, concrete poured, backfilled,
all in one day?
all one day.
All together.
All together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, Matt does not have time to help with this process. Is anybody else willing to help a little old lady get a pole in the ground?
Like I said, I'll call DigSafe.
Okay.
If you call Mike Hines, find out if they will do it or assist or something. We need to get the stakes back in the ground where they're going. I don't know where they are. You met with him.
Right,
You know where
I
they're
know.
going.
And
So
it's
that's
just a
not a
stake.
big deal.
I can put a stake in the
Wood
ground.
stake in the ground with, something
Okay.
for DigSafe to see.
Yep.
And then we can call them, so.
Okay. And then we call them, they say yes, or we call them, they come look, and
Yeah, you call them, they come, they do all their little research and everything, make sure there's not a water line, a sewer line, a power line
okay.
where the hole's gonna be dug.
Right.
And then,
And then
then it can
is
be
there
done.
is there a weather window of opportunity that's closing, or can this happen
Well-
in cold weather?
sooner the better. You know, if you get a lot of cold weather.
It's gonna be in the 40s this week.
Concrete's gonna freeze and
Tell the little old lady. Yeah, gotta get
you
the
don't want it to
concrete
freeze.
in-
They'll
All right.
tell you, they'll
They'll
tell
tell
you.
me. All right. Okay.
You want to get it in while it's warm.
Yeah, as warm as possible,
Okay.
before we hit
So
those
it's a process, I mean, it's good.
really cold
The whole
nights.
thing is a process.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see, who's a retired engineer or something around here? Or somebody who's into that kind of
Don't need an
stuff?
engineer. Just
Well,
need
no,
some-
whenever somebody's into
Body.
that kind of
Digger.
stuff.
Well,
And it's not a shovel digging.
no, no. It's
That's an auger, right?
a backhoe, I mean, the town has a backhoe that could do it, whether they, depends on weather for them,
Okay. And
be most helpful.
if-
And then we can install the rest of it.
right. And if we're hiring somebody who's not a volunteer, do I have permission to pay somebody to do this?
Well, you bring the bill to us and we'll
Well,
tell you
we
what
have to
it is.
have,
Do I have to have approval before I agree to pay somebody?
I think
to do
so.
this? And do we have time to wait for another 2 weeks for another meeting, or is that something that would have to be expedited with a special meeting?
How much do you think it might cost? And we could just,
it depends on who's doing it. I know
Oh.
it could cost you $1,000. Depends, you're gonna have
Should we just?
Even a little more. You're gonna dig 2
Authorize-
holes, you're gonna have a couple of guys, you know, and you gotta do this big steel pole, put it in place, and brace it, and pour concrete, and so it's gonna probably be more than that.
Be more than 1,000.
Yeah.
So what if we said, I don't wanna say up to,
Well, how about start the process with the phone call first, see if the town would assist.
Thank you,
us.
trustees.
if necessary, you can
And then
call
can
a
go
special.
from there, call a special meeting
Yeah.
if needed to approve.
I don't think we want to wait 2 weeks.
I certainly don't.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you very much.
Motion to adjourn.
Non-debatable. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.